I've heard a lot of people say, I'm not a fashion designer, but I would love to learn how to cut and make simple dresses for myself, not for commercial purposes, but just for myself or my family. Are you in that category? Are you a fashion lover? You're not really a fashion designer, but you want to be able to learn how to cut and make simple styles of dresses for yourself, your loved ones, or your family. Relax, this class is for you. And also, you're an aspiring fashion designer. You want to learn how to make dresses for commercial purposes, but you are not opportune yet to go to fashion academy or to register for a fashion class. Relax, this class is also for you too, because you can take it from there. It is a beginner friendly and well detailed that at the end of the day, you will be able to cut a 6-piece dress for yourself. Good day everyone, it's a girl Distancia Apparels. If this is the first time you are coming across my video, you are welcome to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I love you so much, thank you so much, I really appreciate your love and support. This channel is all about fashion, lifestyle, what have you. And on today's tutorial, we'll be learning how to make a 6-piece dress. It's always trending. The mamas like it, the girls like it, so it's a style that is always there. It never fades away. Or 6-piece skirt, you can call it either way, because it's the same process that you use to cut for the gown that is also used to cut for the skirt. Actually, a client wants me to make a 6-piece dress for her, but I said, why don't I bring it here so that we all will cut it together with my YouTube family? As I said earlier, the tutorial is a beginner friendly, that at the end of the day, you'll be able to cut a 6-piece dress for yourself or your family. You don't even really need to have much knowledge about sewing to be able to cut it. So far you pay attention and follow the process in the video. So without much further talk, let's just go straight to cut. Let's go. Because we are going to use a free hand to cut the 6-piece skirt, I did some little illustration to explain what the cutting will look like. What I mean by freehand is cutting directly onto your fabric, not cutting on a pattern then transferring to the fabric. So we are going to use a freehand. So this is the illustration, this is the back, and this is the front. If you notice, both of them are exactly the same, not different. But there is going to be a slight changes at the back. Hence, the back is going to be 4 pieces with pieces. The reason for that is because of the zipper allowance, to be able to attach the zip to the back. So because of that, there is going to be, let me use dotted line to explain. There's going to be an opening at the center, and there will also be a tail at the back. There's also going to be a tail at the back. So this is what the back will look like. Hence, the back will now be 4 pieces instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what the back will look like. Then this is the waist, this is the hip, and this is the knee. From the knee, that is where the slant starts from. The only difference that is going to be in this is just the center back and the center front. The 4 sides remain the same, nothing changes for the 4 sides. Then the first one we are going to cut now is the center front. The center front. This is the first one we are going to cut. And while folding, you fold the center front according to how wide you want this down part, you want this flared part to be. For this tutorial I'm doing now, I want this down part, I want this down part when I open it to be 20 inches. So I'm going to use 10 inches. When I open this, I want it to be 20, the down part. So I'll fold this down part by 10 inches. Then for how wide you want the waist part of the front panel to be, the most simplest and easiest way to determine how wide you want this waist part of this center front to be is your bust span. And what do I mean by bust span? Bust span is simply the difference between one nipple to the other, the distance between one nipple to the other. In some cases, some are 8, some are 9. The client I'm working for, her own is 9. So I'm going to use her bust span to determine how wide this place will be. When I open it, I want this place to be 9. So what I will measure when unfold will be 4.5 inches for the waist. And I'll also, on this hip part, when it is unfold for this center front, I'll also measure 4.5. The same thing I measure on the waist is what I'll measure on the hip part. On the hip part here. The same thing I measure here is what I'll measure here. I'll measure 4.5 here, measure 4.5 here. Then when I come to the knee, I'll measure 4 inches. The reason is because I want this part to be a little bit tapered so that it will give shape to the flare. So I will minus half inches from the 4.5 I use for the hip and the waist. When I come to the knee, I'll minus half inches. Then I will slant it to the full length of the skirt. So altogether we'll have 7 pieces at the end of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the first part we are going to cut now is the center front. Let's go and cut the center front because we'll use it to cut for all of them. Fabric by 10 inches, and I'm marking the full length. If you notice, I did not start from 1 inch to mark the full length of the skirt. I started by 18 inches because her half length is 18 inches. Go ahead and use your own half length to mark your full length. If your own is 15, 16, use your own half length to mark your full length. Here I'm cross-checking to know if I got exactly 10 inches that I folded. I'm marking the hip length. Her hip length is 9.5 inches. Go ahead and use your own hip length. Some are 9. It depends on how you are. My client is a bit on the large scale. Then here I'm marking the knee length. Her initial knee length is 22 inches, but I used 19 inches. I came up by 3 inches. If you are making a flared skirt or gown that is starting at the knee, don't mark it at exact knee. Come up a bit by 2 or 3 inches so that there will be free movement at the knee. After that, mark out the knee line and the hip line so that you'll be able to take the body measurement. At the waistline, I'm marking out the 4.5 inches for the bust span as I explained in the illustration. Here I'm marking out the 4.5 inches. And on the hip line, I will also mark the 4.5 inches. At the knee line, I'll mark 4 inches. I will minus half inches from the 4.5 I marked on the hip and the waist so that I'll have a fine shape at the knee. Then I'm joining the 3 lines together with a ruler. I'm connecting the 3 lines with a ruler. After that, I added 0.5 inches all round. I added it at the waist, at the hip and at the knee, and I connected them together with a straight line. Reason for the 0.5 inches is for joining the center front to the side front, because the front panel it has 3 panels, so it needs a joining allowance so the 3 pieces will be able to join together and it will not affect the original measurement. That is why if you don't add it, you encounter problem. Then after that, connect from the knee to the full length of your skirt or your dress with a straight long ruler if you have one. Connect it with a slanted line from your knee line to the 10 inches fold you made. Connect it here, trying to blend out from the knee line so there won't be any sharp edges.
As you can see, our center front is almost done. Now let's cut it out and see what it looks like. Here is the full view of our center front. The waistline, the hip line, and the knee line with the full length. This is the view of the center front. And now that we are done with cutting of the center front, we'll head over to cutting of the center back. As I told you earlier on, the center back will be 2 pieces. So we'll fold our fabric into 2 again. But while folding our fabric, we'll not fold by 10 again. We'll add some inches because of the tail that will be at this zipper allowance. So we folded the center front by 10, but this center back, we'll fold it, at least we'll add 7 inches, making it 17 inches. So we'll fold it by 2 so that we'll be able to get the 2 pieces at the same time. So let's go over now and cut the center back. We are now folding the fabric to cut the back center back. I'm folding the fabric into 2. I folded it into 2. I folded the fabric by 18 inches. As I explained, I added 8 inches to the initial 10 inches I folded for the front. I added 8 inches more. So the fold of the back is by 18 inches. Here I'm making sure to see that everything aligns properly. Then after that, I place the center front on the folded fabric so that I'll be able to cut out the back center back from it. Go ahead and place it very well. Make sure that everything aligns properly. After that, I measured what is left. I had extra 8 inches. As I told you, you need to add some inches. Then after that, I extended the lines, the knee line, the hip line, and the waist line, so that I will be able to get the zipper allowance, because that side, that folded edge is where the zipper, that folded edge at the center front that is being placed on top of the folded fabric is where the zipper allowance will be. And I'm marking 1.5 inches at the waist. I marked 2 inches at the hip so that the hip will not be pressed flat, the bum. Then at the knee line, I also marked 1.5 inches, 1.5 at the waist, 2 inches at the hip, and 1.5 at the knee. The 2 inches was to accommodate the butt. Then I joined the line together using my ruler. Go ahead and join the lines together. After that, from the knee line, extend to the extra allowance that we added, that extra 8 inches that I added. Extend from the knee, extend the line, extend it with a slanted line to form a beautiful flare. I'm trying to blend out the line so that everything will come out beautifully. The side will be the same, nothing will be done to it, but the center front and the center back, that is where you add the allowance. Our back is done. Now let's cut. After cutting, go to the waist part, that place we added 0.5. put a small notch there so that you know that that is the zipper allowance, because when you remove the center front, the two sides are similar, it becomes confusing. So you have to put a notch at the zipper allowance where you added 0.5 so that you'll be able to differentiate between the zipper allowance and the side that will be added to the side front. That is the reason for the notch at the zipper area. Our two back is done. This is the two center back, and it is done. This is what it looks like. Let's keep it aside. We now have 3 panels, remaining 4 panels. It's remaining the center front. It's also the center front that we use to cut.
Now that we are done with cutting of the center back, as I told you, the 2 side front and the 2 side back are the same. So the 4 of them will be cut the same way. So I'm going to cut the 4 of them together. I'll fold my fabric into 4, then use the center front to cut it. The 4 side are the same. So I'm going to fold my fabric into 4 and use the center front to cut it. It's the same way you added some allowance at the back because of the tail. It's the same way you add allowance while folding your fabric at least 7 inches too, so that the side of the flare at the side will come out beautifully. Let us go over to cut the 4 sides together.
I folded the fabric into 4 to get the 4 sides together, so that I'll be able to cut the 4 sides together. So I folded the fabric into 4. See the 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4 fabric. The 4 into 4 I folded it, not the 4 fabric. I folded the fabric into 4, and I folded using 18 inches. I folded by 18 inches. I added more extra 8 inches to the initial 10 inches for the center front. And here I'm also placing, like I did for the center back, I'm placing the center front on top of the folded fabric so that I'll be able to cut out the 4 sides. Placing my fabric properly to make sure that it aligns very well. Place your fabric properly too. Then measure the allowance. I got extra 8.5. Extra 8.5. So you can add as much as how your fabric is. The side will be exactly the same. Nothing will be done to it. Then after placing it this way, you cut out the side. Cut out the side. Nothing will be done to the side. Just cut it out. Then after cutting out the sides, the next thing you will do is use your ruler and extend the lines as you did while cutting the center back. Extend your lines so that you'll be able to mark out your body measurement. Extend the knee line. After that, extend the hip line. After that, we also extend the waistline. When you have extended the lines, the next thing you will do is to go back to the side and put a notch at the knee line. Put a notch at the knee line. After marking out your line, put a notch at the knee line. Then the next thing you will do is to flip over the center front. Flip it over and make sure that the notch line at the knee for the center front are the notched line at the sides you want to cut are meeting each other. The hip are meeting each other and the waist are meeting each other, so that you'll be able to draft out your body measurements. Let me explain again. The center front was initially on top of the folded fabric like this. After putting the notch, cutting and putting the notch, you flip it over. Then make sure that the notch on the knee length at the center front is matching the notch at the side that you want to cut. Make sure that both of them are matching each other. And also make sure that the hip length at the center front and at the side are matching each other. And at the waist too, the waist of the center front and the waist at the back, at the side you want to cut, make sure that they are matching each other. Here I'm trying to rule out a line so that I'll have a perfect line, so that everything will align properly. Here I'm trying to adjust the waistline of the center front to the waistline of the side I want to cut. Still trying to take your time while cutting this side. Make sure that everything aligns properly before you start your measurements. Still trying to adjust. Then after that, mark out your measurement. Here you can use your own measurement. I'm using my client's measurement. There I'm checking her waist. Her waist is 41, and the way you do it is take your tape, fold it into two. From that 41, fold it into two. Whatever you got, fold it again into two. Then whatever you get, you divide your body measurement by 4. So I'm dividing her waist by 4. So what I got is 10.2. That's 10.2. There I'm marking the waist measurement. I'm marking out her waist measurements here. You start from the center front. As you folded the center front, start from there and mark out your waist measurement. After marking out the waist measurement, waist measurement, I added ½ inch. The ½ inch was to use it to join the panels together. I added ½ inch, which I will use to join the panels. Then I added my sewing allowance, which is 2 inches. So altogether I added 2.5 inches. I added ½ inch for joining of the panels together. Then I also added 2 inches. The 2 inches was for my sewing allowance. Then for her hip is 43. The same way you folded your tape to get the waist measurement is also the same way you fold the tape to get her hip measurement. You fold the 43 into 2. Then whatever you got, fold it again into 2. Then place what you got at the hip line. After folding the tape, I placed my client's hip measurement on her hip line. Place whatever you got for the hip on the hip line. Mark it. Then after marking it, also add ½ inch for joining of the panels together, and then add your sewing allowance. I added ½ inch and also 2 inches, altogether 2.5 inch. Then for the knee, what I did for the knee is that whatever I got from the hip, I minus 1.5 from it, so that the knee will be a little bit tapered. She doesn't want it to. Some people minus 2, 1.5. It depends on how fitted you want your knee area to be, but she doesn't want it to be too tight on her. She said she wants it a bit free, so I minus just 1.5 inches from what I got from the hip. From the hip, I minus 1.5 from the hip. That is how I got the knee line, the round knee, knee measurement, sorry. Then after that, you connect from the waist to the hip. Then you connect from the hip to the knee. Connect your lines properly. I'm trying to blend it so that you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Then after that, connect from the knee to the extra allowance you added. Connect from the knee to the extra allowance you added with a slanted line to form a beautiful A-line or flare. After connecting it, this is what the side looks like. You just, after cutting the side and placing the center front, you measure your body measurement, and you are ready to cut. This is what the four sides looks like. This is the four sides. Two is 4 here, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. Place I'm pointing now, remember the notch, it will be used to join it to the center front and the center back. This is the front panel of the dress or skirt, and this is what it will look like, the 3 panels together. And this is the 4 panels of the back. This is what it will look like. This is how to place to cut the lining. The lining will be cut exactly the same way. Because this video is becoming too long. If you found value for this tutorial, which I know you did, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be the first to get. If you want to see how I made the dress, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video. Bye.